Jeannie, and today I am going to expand on my last video, which was how to create transparent overlays in Keynote. And we're going to do it by adding borders. So what do we need? First thing, you need a screenshot of your iPlanner or iJournal page taken in Goodnotes. Next, you need an iDesign page template that you can find in the Digitally Speaking store, a photo or iDesign pattern paper. iDesign pattern paper is also in the store. And the fun part is the iDesign shapes, which are also in the Digitally Speaking store. And last but not least, you need Keynote, and that comes on your iPad. I will link to the items I've discussed in the comment section beneath this video. Let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to show you is the iDesign page template. It comes pretty much looking like this. What you're going to do is we're going to transform this. These are opaque pages. In other words, you can't see through them. We're going to eventually transform them into pages that you can see through. So how am I going to do that? I put these in and then I lock them. So I'm going to ungroup, not lock, but group. And now I'm going to take and select first the right one, and then I'm going to select my paintbrush. Under Image, I'm going to go to Replace. Scroll to my I Love Fall papers, and I'm going to select not the lightest shade, but the next to the lightest shade of Off-White. I'm going to select that exact same paper for the left-hand page. Image, Replace, I Love Fall, and paper. Now, I'm going to go back to my paintbrush because these are, like I said earlier, opaque, and I want them to be transparent. I'm going to select Style, and at the very bottom under Opacity, I'm going to scroll that little blue line down to about 30%. And I'm going to remember that. It's going to be an important amount shortly. Again, select the page, 30%. We want the two to match. Well, maybe you don't, but I do. Keep going. There we go. And now I'm going to group these simply because it's easier to take them into the planner and set them up. So I'm going to tap and hold, tap, and arrange, maybe, and group. Now I can take them in as a single unit and to set them up for my iPlanner. And please understand, I am referring to the iJournal too. I just use my iPlanner a whole lot more than I do a journal. So now I'm going to go to my screenshot. And there's something I want to share that I didn't share in the last video. Let me tap on that. What I've discovered is that I can lock and unlock my screen capture. If I lock my screen capture, if I size it up fairly large, like even a little bit larger than the slide, and I lock it, it's not going to move around. I am tapping it and it's going nowhere. And that makes it a whole lot easier to arrange my elements on this page. So based on that, making sure I have this selected, copied, I'm going to bring in those two pages. So I'm going to tap, paste, and there are my pages. Now, I have found over the years that I can size them up, but I get a whole lot closer to being perfect if I ungroup them and do them individually. I don't know why that is. Probably because they're not exactly where the little holes on the spirals are. So I'll get them up pretty good size, and then I'll tap, ungroup, and I'll move them around independently of each other. And what I always want to align is the holes of my spirals. So that's still a little small. Sometimes I find it's easier to do this on my MacBook just because I can type in a number. That's actually pretty good. And I don't know, I'm funny about things like that. I think if I just made myself do it, it would be okay. So I have that one. It looks like it's sized pretty well. But if you look really closely, you can see that there's still some holes. So I'm going to go to my keyboard, and I'm going to, with it selected, I'm going to tap on my arrow keys, and that moves it just a little tiny bit, and it's actually perfect. So now I'm going to scroll out, and my pages look great. Again, I'm going to go ahead now, because they are aligned, I'm going to tap and hold, tap and group. Okay, now we're going to do the fun part. These leaves are from the I Love Fall Most of All iDesign kit, and I just brought them in. I changed some colors. I left one, actually just duplicated and changed colors on the twigs, and I'm going to try to highlight to show you that one. I simply deleted the leaf shape from it. That's just going to give me, you know, how you put like fronds in a wreath and all that. That's my fronds. To change the pattern of this, I'm going to double click on it, and it's going to only select the leaf. Now if I clicked, let me show you that again. If I click once, that's the whole leaf, the outline and everything. Now if I click that, that's the inside leaf. I'm going to go to Image, and I'm going to select Replace, go to I Love Fall, and I'll be honest with you, I know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put this in the burgundy hue. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack my leaves. So I'm going to bring this over, and I'm just going to play with them a little bit. You know, this is very much what you want to do. And it's just kind of like a smattering of leaves that can go across something. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll out, and I'm going to take and double click or click and select all, and I'm going to ungroup. Now here's why, because I want to decrease the opacity. So I'm going to take the opacity, paintbrush style opacity, down to 30%, somewhere around 30%. And that actually gives me a nice little edging for my design. But before I do anything else, I'm going to arrange it and regroup it. I'm not sure I like that twig at all, so let me back up. I'm just going to get rid of it. Select all, style. Let's go a little higher, maybe not. That's okay, 30, 38, 32%, there's somewhere around there. Select all and group it. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate it, because what I want to do is I want to create some flipped images, and it's just easier to do it here. So I'm going to copy, paste, size it just a little bit down, make that one down too, and I'm going to go to paintbrush, arrange, and flip horizontally. Now I'm going to take this, copy, paste, and I'm going to rotate it, maybe. And now I'm going to copy, paste, rotate, yeah, well, it was a nice thought. There we go. And sizing isn't going to be such a big deal right now. So now I have 4 different directions, and you can do that while you're positioning it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my leaves and I'm going to go back to my page. I'm going to actually copy this, and I'm just going to position them around the page. Paste it. And I'm actually going to put them off the edge of the page. Now, this is kind of the magic that we haven't talked about yet. So just position them where you like them. And then I'm going to go back to when I'm all done and I have them around the page the way I like it. I'm going to select my background. And I'm going to unlock it. And I'm going to delete it. So that means the background means the picture of the iPlanner. You can see the big white boxes around that. So I'm going to take and I'm going to select again, maybe, and I'm going to delete, and there it goes. Now I'm going to click, select all, group. In just a moment, I'll meet you inside of my iPlanner. Before I go to my iPlanner, I'm going to copy this. I'm in my iPlanner now, and I've copied my 2 pages from Keynote, and I'm getting ready to paste them in. So here I am. I'm going to tap and paste. And you can see, if you look closely, that this planner is pretty big. It's not going to fit on my iPlanner well. And we're going to fix that right now because this is the last step in this particular process. So I'm going to click again, and I'm going to select crop. When my crop feature comes up, I am going to move my blue dots up to the edge of my colored page. And I'll be honest, sometimes because my eyes are not so good and you really can't zoom in on this, it's going to take me a minute. It's going to take me a couple tries, but that's okay. Done. And if you look right over by the leaves in the lower left-hand corner, they're not really cropped well. So I'm going to do it again. Crop, click, crop. Wow, that's pretty awesome. That looks good. Now I can size my page up to fit my iPlanner. And it's really a designer page that I did in Keynote. I hope you enjoy this technique. Spread some iPlanner love today. Until next time, bye.